And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we are joined all the way from Florida, fitness pro Ariel Khadr. Yay! Ariel, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really, really good. I've been following your career for quite a while now. I'm especially excited for the fitness class this year, and it's a class I really want to start hyping because I think the Olympia this year, as a sort of a top fitness pro, are you really excited for what's coming this year at the Olympia?
I am. I mean, there's a lot on everybody's plate that's a contender, really, but I mean, it's an honor considering that. I mean, I looked up to like Adela and Oksana. Not that I've competed with Oksana, but I mean, Adela, I was a kid, like I'm still young, but I was a kid when I was looking up to these people. So the fact that I'm going to be on stage with them is pretty surreal. Yeah. I don't think, when did the fitness class start? Because I think surely there can't be many years missed out with who's doing the Olympia this year. You've got Oksana coming back. You've got Adela Garcia. I mean, there must be, well, I haven't added them up, but you're talking like, must be like 15 Olympias, surely. You mean Adela's?
Yeah, I mean, how many did Adela win? I know Oksana won 4.
Adela's 8.
Adela won how many?
8.
8.
Yeah.
So 8 plus 4 plus 2, that's 14 already. So anyway, we'll come to the Olympia, back to the Olympia, come back to that in a little bit. So, Ariel, tell me a little bit about your contest history. I know you've just won you obviously just won the Tampa. So tell us a bit about how you started, how you turned pro.
Well, my parents were into bodybuilding. I'm an only child, and so they were into bodybuilding when I was a young kid. Mm-hmm. And they kind of just wanted to see what it was all about. So I would go to shows with them when I was like 5 years old, literally. And back then there was only bodybuilding and fitness for women anyway. And so I did gymnastics and dance and taekwondo back then. And so I'd watch fitness and think it was so cool. And my parents never ended up competing. And when I did gymnastics, I actually had a gymnastics coach that was doing fitness, not in the IFBB, but with like Fitness America and then some other organizations that I worked with, like European countries. Yeah. And they had junior fitness at the time. So she was coaching some of the girls in gymnastics to do junior fitness. That's really where I started competing in fitness. So I ended up winning what they called the Junior Fitness International when I was like, I just turned 11 years old.
Wow, 11.
Yeah.
Wow.
But obviously back then, like you're not going to do a physique round at 11 years old.
Yeah.
Probably. But you're not going to do that. So, I stuck with gymnastics because like I wanted to get a scholarship and stuff like that. And then I had an injury when I was 15 in gymnastics. I had ankle injuries. So being that I always kind of had it in the back of my mind that I wanted to compete in the industry of bodybuilding or fitness in general, Figure had came out. And because I had an injury, I was like, well, I'll just, try to get in shape and compete and see what it's like in the IFBB. I mean, not the IFBB, the MPC. Mm-hmm. And I ended up winning my first overall figure show when I was shy of 16, so I was 15.
You were 15 years old and you won an overall. Wow. Okay, carry on.
It was a little show. It wasn't too big of a show, but still, I made sort of a name for myself at that time. And then, obviously, in the back of my mind, I did gymnastics, so I knew I wasn't going to stick with figure. I wanted to do fitness. Yeah. So the following year, I ended up doing the Atlantic States in 2009. Yeah. So that was one of the big New York shows. I ended up winning that. Went on to Team Nationals, won that, and then went to the Team Universe. And I got my pro card at the Team Universe in 2009. Okay. But I was 17. I just turned 17 when I got my pro card, like a week later.
So when was the first time you didn't actually win a show? Was it like 22 or something? Just one continually winning shows.
Right before I did Team Nationals, I jumped into, I think it was Junior Nationals, and I didn't do so well. Mm-hmm. Just, honestly, it was poor coaching, and my physique, I just looked not good at all. Mm. So, physique, for teen round, I did fine, but the physique round, I ended up, I don't know. Honestly don't even remember where I placed. But kind of threw that to the side because it was such a bad show for me. And then I did Team Nationals, came in like significantly different. Not that I had really much competition there, but I wanted to show the judges I'm serious. And then I did Team Universe and got my pro card.
Wow. So let's go back to when you did this overall and you're 15 years old. Because the thing is, a lot of young gymnasts, they can have quite advanced physiques for their age. And when I've seen the Olympics, like the 14, 13-year-olds gymnasts, and they've got really kind of muscular physiques that, because sometimes I look at them and I think they could easily switch over and do like a junior fitness and they do quite well. So what was your physique like even at that age?
Well, surprisingly, I actually got first in the physique round.
Wow. Okay.
I think I got second in the routine round because I did the same routine like over and over and over again. And then some girl came in and she I've never seen her before. Yeah. She did this cool routine with a jump rope and I still ended up getting second, which at the Team Universe top 2 gets their pro card. Mm-hmm. But that year it was crazy. There was like 30 girls in fitness. Wow.
Wow. So carry on. Tell us more about your contest history then. Okay.
Well, then after that, I was young, so I didn't even get my driver's license. I was so focused on getting my pro card. So I ended up finishing high school, going to college. I was supposed to do gymnastics in college, but I had so many ankle injuries that it just was out of the question, really. And realistically, my whole life was sports, like athletics. My whole life, I did elite gymnastics for a year. I was even homeschooled at one point. So when I went to college, I really just wanted to kind of live my life for a little while and get my college education. And then if I always wanted to compete, the stage was there. So when I graduated college, I kind of had it in the back of my mind that I was going to compete. I ended up jumping into the Phoenix Europa in 2015, right after the Olympia. And I got third after Whitney and Bethany at the time. They just got off the Olympia stage.
So Whitney Jones and Bethany Wagner, you took third place behind them?
Yeah.
Okay. How old were you at this point?
I just turned 23.
23. And you're already a factor in big pro league shows.
Thank you. And then after that, I actually applied for the Arnold and I didn't get in, which was for me.
That is shocking. I think they're kicking themselves now.
I was really upset because I really thought I was going to get in, considering that I was the youngest person to ever get their pro card. And but it is what it is. I just look at it as it wasn't meant to be. Yeah. Really looked at what I did at my first pro show and knew exactly what I needed to do to improve to my next show. So I ended up doing the Toronto Pro. That was in June of 2016.
Yeah.
And I just revamped my whole routine, my body, everything. And I honestly didn't expect to win because Miriam Capes was competing.
Yeah.
And she just came off the Olympia stage. I think she got second or third at the Olympia that year. But I was I'm just going to fight for it, even if I get second.
See, sorry to interrupt. Aside from your routines, I think one of the biggest talking points about you was, how good you were so young. It was just such a, sorry, carry on.
Thank you.
Sorry, I just something that popped into my head there. Yeah, because I remember I've seen you at a lot of these shows, and I've seen you, and I remember saying because I remember people saying that she's only in her early 20s. It's she's such a talent,
Yeah, so I ended up winning my second pro show and qualifying for the Olympia in 2016. So did the Olympia. I got 7th my first year. And then I did the Arnold the following year. I got 6th at the Arnold that year. Trying to think what else I did. Oh, yeah, I did Miami and I did Toronto trying to defend my title, but I got second. That wasn't my best, and the girl that beat me kind of deserved it that day.
Yeah.
Did Miami 2 weeks later, won that, and then I went to the Olympia again and got 7th again.
7th again, so you yet to crack the top 6.
No. Well, in the Olympia, it doesn't matter if you're 6. You might as well just be 7.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, still the Olympia. Still Olympia.
Yeah. And then right after the Olympia, I figured I'm already in shape. I might as well jump into a show and try to qualify for the Olympia the following year. So I did the Phoenix Europa again, and I won that show. And then I qualified for the 2018 Olympia. Did the Arnold, got 5th at the 2018 Arnold. While they were filming for Generation Iron 3.
Yep.
After that, I was trying to do these new moves for my routine. And I think I actually had a neck injury to begin with, but I didn't know it. And so I did one thing that just kind of made it horrible.
How did you land on your head or something, or what?
No, I was trying to do I do my handstand moves, so I was trying to do the same moves I do, but go down into a headstand, and I think just the compression of compressing your neck on the floor, did and popped something in my discs. Yeah, not popped something, but kind of let it out.
So that was more spinal rather than kind of muscular. The injury.
Yeah, I actually thought I tore my rhomboids because I was not in pain in my neck. I was in pain in the back of my right side of my back. Mm-hmm. And for me to be in pain like that, I mean, it was because I've competed in gymnastics with a fractured ankle 3 times. Yeah. I was in 8 out of 10 pain. I was literally sitting on the Olympia stage, just staring at the stage, imagining doing my routine because I was like, I'm not going to chance this. I'm just going to do this one time.
Yeah.
And then I had an unfortunate incident in the middle of my routine. Actually, my top started untying literally in the middle of my routine.
Sorry, what show was this? What show was this?
That was at the Olympia in 2018.
I think I remember seeing that, yeah.
So not only was my physique really not on point, then I'm in the middle of my routine, and I was having a wardrobe malfunction in the back with my shorts. So I was paranoid about my shorts that I wasn't thinking about the top, that's for sure. And I'm doing my move, and I'm just like, something's going on. It feels like my top's about to fall off.
Oh no! And you had because you wear several tops, don't you? When you wear several layers, were you okay or?
Well, actually, what happened was I was from the Arnold. I always see something that I can improve on in the routine.
Yeah.
I ended up changing the whole routine from the Arnold that year. Same theme, but totally different routine. And I had this skirt that I could Velcro and rip off, but the Velcro on the skirt got stuck to the top, the tie in the back.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay. Yeah. So
I was in the middle of the routine, and it felt like it was 2 hours that I was trying to tie this top back together, but I don't know how I pulled it off, to be honest.
Well, it is Vegas, so I mean, it's not exactly
Yeah. I was just we're on the big screen, and everybody's watching.
Oh no! Did you kind of improvise, or did it really distract you when you were doing that?
Yeah, it was totally I just could not believe what just happened. I mean, thankfully, I actually choreographed at least those routines before I was choreographing myself. So at one point, I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be on the floor right now. And I just kind of made it up.
Yeah. Wow. So you completely styled it out.
Kind of, yeah.
Wow. So that was at 2018 Olympia. Sorry, what did you place at that Olympia?
7th again.
7th again. Right. So guys, I think we're seeing a bit of a pattern here.
I was on my best day and my worst day. I guess I get 7th.
Okay, so what would you say has been your strongest performance so far as a fitness pro?
Honestly, I feel like the Tampa Pro was my strongest performance.
A couple of weeks ago.
I rewatched a couple of my old videos, and I could see why that routine is much stronger than the other ones were. Even though that one I had help with, because when I do my own routines, I get so into it that I almost forget what the judges are looking for.
Okay.
Just the Predator routine, I got so into that. And
sorry, Colin keeps raving on about your Predator routine. He's and I've got to mention as well, this is the guy who was on about the top hat. He said, please bring the top hat. And I just told him I went to pick him up. And he said, oh, please tell me she's brought the top hat. I said, mate, tell us what happened to the top hat, Ariel.
Well, honestly, I don't know if it's gone or I threw it out, because what happened was I was in the middle of moving. I actually didn't even think I was going to do Tampa, but I ended up doing it anyway. Mm-hmm. So all my stuff was I thought I had it in this one suitcase, and I'm I guarantee you I threw it out. Because I'm probably not doing that routine for the Olympia.
Okay. So you've won Tampa now. I'm assuming the goal this year is to crack top 6 at the Olympia.
I would like top 5.
Top 5, yeah.
So I can requalify next year.
I mean, coming back to the Olympia, I've always enjoyed the fitness. I mean, I find at the Alder Olympias, it's always a bit of a spectacle. They always kind of open the show with it, and it's quite exciting seeing the routines. But I feel like this year, I'm really especially interested in the fitness because, you've got the return of, how many is it, 7-time? Adela Garcia. We have Oksana, who's won 4 Olympias, 10 Arnold Classics. Whitney Jones, who's won it twice. Yourself, Missy Truscott won the Arnold Classic 2nd at the Olympia last year. I mean, it's a really, really, I think I think, honestly, I think the Olympia is worth the ticket price alone just to see the fitness class this year. I mean, you must be. Do you think there's something special about this year's Olympia, given everything that's happened this year with the pandemic and the venue change and the fact that all these old retired champions are coming back? Sorry. Okay, Ariel, sorry, lost a bit of connection there. Sorry, you were saying about this year's Olympia and how it's going to be a real exciting one.
Yeah, what I was saying was it's basically a clean slate for everybody. I mean, we're talking about the girls that have been on the stage anyway. They're kind of contenders for at least the top 5, top 10. I mean, yes, we've all been on the Olympia stage, but literally not any of us have been on this stage before. So we kind of don't know what to expect, really. It's all up for grabs.
So it's a concern when now actually the venue's gone from the Orleans to Planet Hollywood at the Zappos Theatre. It's a concern being that it's literally a new stage that you'll be performing on for all of you.
Right. I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to talk bad about the New Orleans stage, but I think every fitness girl would definitely say that stage is not good for fitness.
Why? Why was that?
At least my first year when I got there, the floor is like a carpet, but it's not. The Arnold is also kind of like a carpet, but it's velvet and it's kind of like flat. Yeah. But the Olympia stage has like this weird carpet, so it's really hard to. Like I had shoes on the first year, and I was like, those shoes don't really work. Like I'd almost rather do it barefoot. But I mean, you learn, you live and learn, especially when you're on the Olympia multiple times. Yeah.
So what do you practice your routine on? Are you just in a kind of a smooth floor studio, or do you?
For me, it's easiest to practice on like a regular flat wood floor. Yeah. I know Oksana does the same thing, but actually, when it came down to the Olympia, like I bought a mat that was kind of similar to the floor of the Olympia, just because like the grip of the floor is totally different. Yeah. So we're all kind of don't know what to expect. I know some of the girls are flying out there just to see the stage, but
I think Missy did last week, but I think Planet Hollywood's shut at the moment. So because she's obviously gone out there to try and probably get a feel for the venue and the stage. That's probably why she went out, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I hear that it's really a big stage, but it's hard for me to get bothered. Like, I've been on so many different stages.
Yeah. Thing is, you don't want to land wrong and get like a horrible carpet burn on your knees or something. I mean, that would be so trying to like style it out when you're,
my routine at the Miami show, the stage was so rough. Like all of us came off with blood. Like I'm saying, we ain't got time to bleed, and I'm there bleeding.
Oh no. And do you know, I was so impressed with what Whitney Jones did last year when she did the Arnold Classic, and she was doing all one-legged flips because she'd completely ruptured her ACL, hadn't she? So she did. Yeah, she did a routine. She prepped for a routine, but only been able to basically perform on one leg, and she still won. So I think it's real. I think the fitness class. I mean, a lot of even bodybuilders say that the fitness class is probably one of the hardest things to prep for, because not only do you have to have a really good physique and be in condition, you've got to perform and you've got to be jumping around. And I mean, when your body fat's low, I mean, that's the time. If you're going to get an injury, you're going to get it then. And then obviously when you're on stage, you've got to perform and you've got to be in condition. I think a lot of there's a lot of credit that does go to the fitness pros, because I think they realize that other people realize just how tough it is,
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, every time I'm prepping for a show, it's almost like you want to imagine it gets easier, but I really feel like the better your body gets and the leaner your body gets, the harder it gets. It's never easy. Like, especially, I mean, honestly, this last show was kind of like last minute for me. I kind of just jumped into Tampa. Like, I really only dieted for like 4 weeks.
Really? 4 weeks?
Yeah. So I know I can be a lot better than that, at least in my physique. Yeah. But with the Arnold, I didn't compete for a year, so I needed to diet for at least 16 weeks. And I mean, it got hard, like really hard. Your brain also is in like a fog. Like you're like, I know I need to do this. I know I need to do that. And I work. So it's like, it was a lot. So not that I'm complaining.
So to crack the top 6 at the Olympia, are you more focusing now on your physique or your routine, or are you just trying to improve in all areas? Which one?
I would say both, just because obviously if I have to do a new routine, that's a lot of work. But the physique, I mean, I'm trying to, with me, I just would hope I continuously get better. Yeah. I'm still young, so I mean, as you get older, your muscles mature. Yeah. Like if I look at myself now compared to what I did when I started competing in the pro divisions, I mean, it's totally different physique.
Yeah. Do you think you'll always stay with fitness? Do you think you'll ever switch to figure, or if your physique gets to a level where you, yeah, tell us.
I'm like, nah, I would never.
No, just fitness, just fitness.
I mean, I would do okay in it, but I'm not going to place very well. So it's like, for me, why would I do it?
Okay. So which round do you prefer? Do you look more forward to the routine or to showing off your physique in the physique round?
Actually, I like both. I used to honestly hate the physique round. I shouldn't say hate the physique round, but I didn't like it. Now I actually started posing with Sydney Gillen.
Oh wow, Sydney.
I mean, I wanted to come into the Arnold. Like, I know I was gone for a year, but I'm back. So I mean, I literally did everything I could to be the best that I could be, and I really was the best that I could be that day. So I worked with Sydney on posing. I mean, it is bodybuilding at the end of the day. If your physique doesn't match up, you're not going to place well. Like, you might crack top 5, but you're not going to be in the top 2 or 3. Yeah. That's not the Arnold or the Olympia anyway.
Sometimes when you see at the like some of the qualifying contests, and you'll see these ladies with absolutely mind-blowing routines, and then their physique is just completely it's like they, you know, it's such a shame sometimes. You think, oh, they're probably getting really good points. They're probably first in that round, but probably dead last in the other one. So you've got to really bring both to the table, haven't you? I
mean, I think to an extent, the physique shows in the routine. Like, it's almost like an element of artistry. If you have like Oksana, for example, like super lean, and she looks like a real athlete when she's doing her performance. So if she was not like that, it would look different. Even though she's the same person, like doing the same thing. It just looks.
So how do you see the top 5 going down this year? Do you think Oksana can come back and win? You know, because obviously we've got like a lot of past champions. You've got people like yourself, Missy, real kind of hungry to kind of move up. How do you see the top 5 going down this year?
I really think it's up for grabs for anybody.
Okay.
I really think it's, you don't know what anybody's really going to do. I mean, Missy's coming off I think Whitney and Missy are at the top right now, just because we have Miss Olympia and then Miss Fitness International. So, I mean, they're kind of the 2 contenders in my opinion. I think Oksana's been well off I mean, I'm not trying to put her down. I just think she's been gone for a little while.
Yeah.
Retirement, like, in my opinion, I mean, I don't know. It's only been 2 years. It's not like you're out of retirement for 10.
I don't think she's missed a beat, to be honest. It's like Iris Kyle. I mean, Iris Kyle has been away for like 7-8 years, but she stayed in good condition and she stayed hard training, you know. So it's and Missy's only been gone for 2 years. So I think she's gonna. So when you heard all the names that were coming forward doing this Olympia, who was the one? Was there one that really got you kind of really excited? You know, the comebacks, or when you heard that, you know, like say Missy was qualified, you're like, yes, okay, I've got to go up against her. Who?
To be honest, no.
No, none of them. None of them.
When I compete, I'm really focused on myself.
Okay.
It is what it is. I mean, yeah.
I'm trying to build some rivalries here. Come on. Work with me here. Come on.
I mean, the rivalry really at this point is between me and Missy, because we were top 2 at the Arnold, and we're both young.
Yeah.
It's not like I can't imagine that Whitney, Oksana, and Della are going to be here for another 10 years, where me and Missy can be. That's
true. Yeah, I was just thinking Missy, actually, because you're the 2 that you're established, but, you know, you've got no Olympia titles yet, but you're hungry to get those Olympia titles. So you're the next generation of, you know, I mean, I'm just interested to see. I mean, Oksana's, you know, she's still relatively young, and you've got, but Adela, she's a little bit, you know, she's been out for quite a while. You know, I was very surprised to hear that she was coming back. So I'm just interested to see how she's going to return and how she's going to look and do, and she's going to be able to do the routines and be really, really competitive. Sure. I mean, the other part of it is, like, back then, realistically, the physiques were a little bit different than now. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's like figure. Yeah, the top of the game back then is different than the top of the game now. Yeah. So what do you do for a living, Ariel? Something totally outside of the fitness industry. I actually, I do audiology, so I'm a hearing aid specialist. Okay. So I treat people with hearing loss. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay, tell us more. I mean, I do audiological evaluations, and I basically fit and program hearing aids for people that need them. Right, okay. How long have you done that for? I've been doing that for about 5 years now. Okay, 5 years. Like right out of college, yeah. Okay. So you obviously trained to do that and qualified to do that in college and everything? Actually, yeah. I mean, it wasn't college related, but
what I do is a little bit niche because I'm not a doctor of audiology. I'm a hearing aid specialist, which is slightly different from an actual doctor of audiology, even though they literally do the same job. It's just that I can't see people under 18 without a parent's like signature or consent.
Okay.
I don't do more than really just evaluating hearing loss. So if you have any kind of vestibular disorders, I don't really treat that either. But most of the time it's pretty straightforward, like aging, hearing loss.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you do in your spare time then? Tell us. When you're not training and jumping around and flipping about.
I really don't have a lot of free time.
Yeah. I think it's like, I always think about fitness pros. I think it's like you're literally prepping for two shows. It's like you got to get your physique right, and then you've got to produce this like gymnastic routine. I mean, I've always I like following the social media of the fitness, because just how hard you ladies work, to kind of bring, because like I said, you could have the best routine, but if your physique isn't really good, it's like, it must be really difficult for a lot of really good girls with great routines, but or vice versa, but I suppose they would compete in figure if they had great physiques and not good routines.
Sure. I mean, it's hard for fitness, especially the top ones. I mean, between getting up to do cardio, doing your routine practice, going to lift weights, getting like massages, and because when you weight train, you're getting sore, then you can't do your routine because you're sore, and then you don't want to hurt yourself. So it's like an all-day thing with fitness. And every single time you prep, you're just like, how am I doing this? Yeah. You have to really love it.
So what's your, what would you say every fitness lady, they always have like a signature move, that one move that they do that kind of gets the crowd going, that's like the wrestlers with their unique moves, what would you say yours is, or are you working on it?
Well, right now the signature move, at least mine is when I come down into like what they would think the Oksana move is, where you do one arm, but then I come back up and do it again. So
I'm trying to picture that one. How does it go? What did you do?
Well, you do like I don't know what they call it, the crocodile, I think, with one arm.
One arm, right?
And I push back up into a handstand, and then I do the same thing again.
Oh my God, that sounds really complicated. Can you do that? You can do the splits. I don't believe you. Almost. You can almost do the splits. So yeah, okay. So you can't do the splits then. I'm practicing. You just totally lied. Sorry. Okay. So are you excited for the Olympia generally? I mean, do you follow the men's side or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of bodybuilding, so I'm definitely looking forward to that too, with Phil Heath coming back now.
Oh, you just stole my next question, Ariel. So, I mean, last week it was a bit of a shocking moment, because I'm friends with Phil, and I said on the, somebody asked me if he was doing it a couple of weeks ago, and I said, well, he's gone a bit quiet recently, so that's got me a little bit suspicious. So, are you excited to see the return of Phil Heath?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
I mean, with Flex Lewis, Phil Heath, I honestly don't. I mean, Brandon Curry, and I don't know if Kai's going to come back, but that would be pretty cool.
I don't know. I think that ship sailed. Sailed. Yeah, we've had enough of his teasing. Yeah.
I think it's going to be awesome. I mean, that's what brings the people to come see us. I mean, I hate to say that we're not bringing people in, because we are, but I mean, it's bodybuilding that's really the sport that we're in. So the fact that it's being represented the way that the fans want to see it is better for the other divisions in general. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, though, the fitness is like the Arnold when they have the strongman and the fitness. Those are the two parts that really get the crowd livened up for when the open guys come out. That's the one that gets the crowd into a frenzy, seeing all the fitness routines and the strongmen, and then they bring the open guys out again, and by that point, the crowd's going completely bananas. They are. It's true, though, isn't it? It's true. The Olympia, it gets the especially with the music as well, in those big sound system at the Olympia. The production, it's like it really kind of gets everyone livened up, because the thing is, the Arnolds and the Olympias, I really like watching the fitness, only really at the Arnold Olympias, because every single routine is so good. You get the ones that you're sliding down in your chairs, you're at some of the qualifiers, and you think, oh my God, how did they get on stage? How did they get their pro cards? It's a bit cringe.
Because fitness is so hard that nobody wants to do it.
It's very true. So going back to the Olympia, come on, I want your top three. Come on, give it to me, please.
Top three?
Yeah, come on, tell me your top three. No, there's no chickening out now, I'm afraid.
I mean, honestly, I really think I could pull off a top three if I come in the best that I can.
I was actually talking about the Mr. Olympia, but that's fine.
Well, Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
Whitney and probably me or Oksana.
Sorry?
I thought for fitness it was probably going to be Missy, Whitney, me, or Oksana for top 3.
God, it's gonna be such a battle for those. I feel sorry for the kind of the girls are kind of looking to come through that are gonna not even have a chance of making tops. But then again, you don't know what they're gonna bring. Oksana might come in and absolutely, like win easily, or she might have, lost her momentum in the last couple of years. She might have lost her touch, and because I think ladies like yourself and Missy are really, I mean, you're as every bit as good as Oksana and Whitney, and it's really close now. It's really kind of really brought a lot of added excitement to see the retired ladies coming back and the new up and comers who are hungry to succeed and move up. I think it's going to be amazing, absolutely amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait either. But for bodybuilding, I want to say Phil, Dexter, probably Brandon.
Phil, Dexter, and Brandon in what order, please? Come on.
Depends who shows up.
Come on. Okay, they all show up at their best, and you're there, you're judging. You're one of the ninth judges, and they're all at their best. Who comes first, second, and third? Come on.
Probably Phil, Brandon, and Dexter.
Phil first, Brandon second, and Dexter third. You think Dexter can still crack top 3?
Yeah, I think so. It'll be his last Olympia, so I mean it's not a gift because he deserves it, but at the same time, even if he's a little off, they might still give it. What
about William Bonac, Hadi, Rami, Steve Cooklow? I feel like I've missed somebody out really. Flex Lewis. I mean, you think Flex Lewis? Okay, then you think Dexter's going to beat Flex Lewis?
Yeah.
Oh, you think Dexter's going to beat Flex Lewis? Okay. Well, I'm
happy if he watches this.
Yeah. Dexter's going to be like, yeah, I like this girl. She's cool. Hang on, you're both from Florida. I think there's a bit of a hometown bias there. Sorry?
A little bias.
Oh, you know Dexter, do you?
I know him, but we're not like super close, but we know each other, yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay then, Ariel. Well, I just wanted to get you on because obviously I was excited to, I've been following your career a couple of years, and I started watching your routines. That Predator routine was fantastic, and I'm really, really excited to see what you're going to bring at the Olympia this year. And it's, for once, I'm not just excited about the Open and the 212. I'm really looking forward to seeing this fitness, this epic fitness Olympia this year, because it's going to be. And the thing is, if you can really beat some of these legends, that really takes you up, not just into the top 6, but it takes you up onto that whole new level that you've really been trying to make for the last 2-3 years.
Definitely.
Okay. Anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors quickly?
Well, currently I have Pro-Tan, Max Beauty, Long Life Meal Prep. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. No nutrition companies yet.
Wow, you got all your food is provided.
They are now allowing me to go to the gym. So Sydney, she helped me a lot.
Yep, we love Sydney.
I have a person named Ashley and Jen that helped me with my routine, so I'll thank them as well.
Okay, and Ariel. Well, obviously, congratulations on winning Tampa. It's absolutely amazing. How many pro wins is that now?
4.
4 pro wins. 4 pro wins. And you're looking to make top 5 at the Fitness Olympia this December.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, you heard it here first, guys. Ariel Khadr, thank you so much for coming on, and really looking forward to seeing you in the Planet Hollywood, December 17th to the 20th.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm really looking forward to it, too.
Yeah. Carlene's very excited. Okay, then. I'll speak to you very soon, and all the best with your prep. And, see you in Vegas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ariel. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On The Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we are joined all the way from New York for the first time in over a year, Dwayne Quamina. Yay! Your Highness, would you prefer to be called Your Highness or King Q or Mr. Q Dog, or what would you like me to address you as?
Just Q is fine, man.
Just Q. Right, mate, I just looked on the Skype there, and it says we haven't chatted in over a year. I think that's disgraceful.
Yeah, it is. But it gave me time to recoup and get my mind right and everything. So especially with everything that's going on in the world right now. So I needed that little time off.
Do you know what, mate? Because we had a chat, a private chat about a year ago, and I could sense you maybe weren't in a very good place. I was the same about a year ago, and then I've been watching your social media, and I've seen that you seem in a much, much happier place now. Do you want to tell us about that, maybe?
Yeah, it was definitely a hard time transitioning out of the military. Once I got out, I didn't have a steady source of income. So I opened a business, and the first few months it was really tough. Then I started rebounding and finding my stride again, and I broke up with my ex-girlfriend. So it gave me time to really focus on me. I never really liked being alone, so I had to learn to be by myself to really enjoy life, I guess. And I've been meditating a lot lately. I've been going on long walks. I was walking 280, 300 miles a month, just going on walks.
Wow, in New York?
No, I'm in California.
Oh, sorry. Why did I think you were in New York?
Yeah, I'm from New York. But
okay.
Yeah. So all the long walks, and I came to the realization that I think I had unrealistic expectations for bodybuilding. And I think a lot of athletes have unrealistic expectations. Like, you think that you're going to become rich and famous, and it's not like that. So I've been competing 7 years now, placed number 10 in the world, 2018, and I've made a total of $5,500 from competing. And it cost me anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 to prepare for a show. So once I came to that realization that bodybuilding is just a vehicle to get me the exposure and the influence, my mindset started changing. I started approaching things differently. So now I don't really care if I place well at a show, if I don't place well, because it's just a marketing tool for me to sell my products and to promote.
I'm glad you're saying this, man. I'm glad to hear. Because I remember we had that chat, and I said, mate, do you know what you need? Because I could see you were getting overwhelmed. I was talking to you. I was following your social media, and I thought, this is a guy that's, things are not going the way he wants them to go, and it's kind of getting you a bit mixed up and overwhelmed. I said, what you need to do right now is you need to take a step back, just take a break and reevaluate. And by the sounds of it, that's exactly what you've done. So I'm really happy to hear this, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, come a long way. So.
Yeah, you have. So tell us about what you've been up to in the last year and a half, because you were really on the rise in 2018. I mean, you look fantastic at that 2018 Olympia. I know you took 10th, but you really, really, you had a lot of tongues, wagging about, your potential, because your physique looked fantastic at the Olympia, and you're still quite under the 212, weren't you? What did you weigh at the Olympia in pounds?
Olympia, I think I was 195.
195. So you had that kind of fullness and roundness, and you still got 17 pounds more that you could put on. So, I mean, I think we were kind of all expecting you to kind of come back last year, but you obviously took the year off. So what have you been doing in the last year and a half then?
I've still been training heavy. I've been training crazy. My lifts are out of this world right now.
Yes, I saw the Instagram post.
It surprises me sometimes. I have to relook at the videos. I'm like, what the fuck? Did you just do that? So that's pretty cool. I'm falling back in love with training again. It's not like something that I'm forced to do. So I think the biggest thing I need to work on right now is the discipline when it comes to dieting. Okay. That's the one thing I struggle with, is the dieting. But I'll make up for it with extra cardio, and I train insane in the gym, so that covers me. But at this level, everybody is elite, so you can't be slipping in any areas. So
that's something you really feel you need to kind of address to kind of take up to the next level.
Yes, absolutely. And I think I figured it out. I think I was just smoking too much. So and I'm cutting back, and I have more control. I don't have cravings anymore. So.
Okay. No munchies. I saw on your Instagram today, someone was giving you a bit of shit for putting a bar. It says, is that a barbell on because he had one of those, that hack squat thing, and he piled it up with this, literally, I don't know, it was 10 plates aside on, and you'd put a barbell on the top of it, and I was thinking he's going to get told off by the gym owner for that. But someone said to you, is that a barbell you put on there with extra weight? And you just said, yes, sir.
I know, the gym owner, he loves that kind of shit.
Does he? Okay, that's good.
He's a huge bodybuilding fan. So.
Wow. So, yeah, and it's nice to see that because you're someone that has a lot of fun with your training. I mean, you You remind me of kind of like that way that Ronnie Coleman, you kind of come alive, and it's like the best part of your day when you're just lifting heavy shit and just kind of going a bit crazy in the gym and trying. You're a bit like Larry Wheels and Ronnie Coleman mixed.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I go somewhere else. Like sometimes if you really watch the videos, it's like I just go and then I come back. And you can like see and I come back. And like I don't even remember the list sometimes. I got to watch the video to actually remember it. Like it's pretty fucking nuts, man. Yeah.
So where'd you get these ideas to just do? Because I mean, do you ever worry about injuries or are you just?
Fuck yeah, I worry about injuries. Listen, the night before I did that, I was having anxiety going to sleep. I was like, man, I'm about to do some crazy shit tomorrow, and I just fucking did it, man. Yeah. So that one, actually, someone messaged me and it was like, hey, you can add more weight if you just put a barbell through it, because I had a bunch of 25s on the end and it was falling off and stuff.
Yeah.
So I. Okay, let me do this.
Wow, I think we need to see some training videos of you train with Larry Wheels or something. I think that would be good with your personalities mixed. I mean, that's like I could just see like the top 10 craziest lifts with King Q and Larry Wheels.
Awesome. Larry's cool.
That would be very cool. Have you ever trained with him?
Footage with Sergio, because he's in San Diego. I'm moving to San Diego on the 1st. Okay. So yeah, I'm looking forward.
Why are you moving to San Diego?
So. The store is closed here because the gym is closed, and the gym in San Diego is open. So I figure I'll go down there and I'll just do personal training. And then once the store opens back up out here, I'm just going to have an employee run the store for me. So I'll be in both locations, maximizing my capital. Okay.
So going back, I mean, I've got it in my head that you lived in, when did you live in New York then?
2006.
Okay, so I'm completely wrong about this. I had it in my head that you lived in New York. I'm so sorry. So okay, so when you came out of the military, you moved to California. Is that correct?
No, my last duty station was in California. So when I got out, I just stayed.
Yeah. So okay, so obviously now we want to know. 2019. It's like guys like yourself, Nicholas Vuliuj, you kind of all took a step back. For different reasons. Have you thought about now you're falling back in love with training? Have you thought about your next move? Because, mate, we want to see you back in that 212 Olympia, mate.
Yeah, I was going to do the Boston and the Toronto Pro, but then it got canceled. So I'm just in limbo right now. So I figure I'm just going to get as lean as I can. And then once I have a more clear picture of what's going on, then I'll execute. The really good thing is that I'm releasing my fat burner soon, so I'm going to do like a full body transformation with that.
Oh, wow.
So once I'm closed, then they'd be like, okay, shows are open, and then I'll compete. But I don't see myself competing in 2020.
Oh, not in 2020 at all?
I don't think so. It's too uncertain.
Yeah, but what 212 shows are there for definite this year? Because I feel like I need to start working on you a little bit.
I think I just saw John De La Rosa talking about the New York Pro is going to be in Tampa.
Yeah.
And then other than that, you got the Olympia. That's it. I don't really hear any shows being promoted or anything.
Kaleem, is there 212 in Alicante in October? Alicante, we're assembling a bit of a team to Alicante in October.
Where's Alicante? Never heard of it.
Where's Alicante? It's in Spain, my friend.
In Spain? Okay.
Yeah. Come on.
I've never been to Europe. I've been to over 20 countries, just never been to Europe.
You've never been? Well, I suppose could you get ready in how many weeks is it? 9-10 weeks? 9? You could get ready? Come on.
Fuck no.
Come on, you got your fat burner.
No.
just double up the dose.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. We want to get you up.
I may be in the UK in the next month and a half, though.
Why is that?
Yeah. My girlfriend's out there.
Okay.
So, waiting on the travel ban to be lifted so she can come to the States, but if not, I'm just going to go over there.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
And she lives like 30 minutes from Nathan De Asher, so I'll be working. Oh, wow,
okay. Well, we're actually going to see Nathan on Thursday.
Yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. He's got a really good... You'd love... I could see you train with Nathan because Nathan likes training a bit crazy heavy sometimes. Like he does front squats with 6 and 7 plates. Could you lift that much or you?
I've done 6 plates. Listen, the first time I did 6 plates, it was like a fucking at the movie theaters and the screen started closing. It was just going black, and I fucking dumped it. And I was like, what the fuck? And then the next time I was like, hey, if you don't go back up, you're gonna fucking die. And I just went back up. Like I went to that I went to my crazy place and I did it. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a training video with you, Larry Wheels. I'm your new manager, by the way. I'm just setting all these things up for you. You got to do a front squat challenge with Nathan Diasher in Liverpool when you come over. You got to do Alicante in 9 weeks. So I'm just planning your next year out for you here, mate.
Yeah.
I'm your new life coach.
Yeah, for sure, man. Listen, when I step on stage again, they're gonna remember who I am. So. It's going to be epic. Do
you know what, mate? Because I've got those images of how you looked at the 2018 Olympia, and to think that you weighed 195 pounds and you've got probably the craziest fullness and roundness, really out of everyone in that category. The only one who's got that kind of same sort of roundness and fullness is Sean Clarida. It's like that kind of, that round, bubbly, kind of exploding, thick muscle. The thing is, he's another guy like you who trains really hard, heavy, constantly year round, so it's to see you at close to the 212 limit. That's really, that's exciting for me as a bodybuilding fan.
It's going to be epic. You know who I'm really fucking impressed with? Keon,
yeah.
It's like, I'm like, dude.
Did you see what he did last year from the Arnold Classic to the New York Pro in 2 months? I mean, the guy, his frontal bicep, they reckon he was natural for the Arnold, and then like 8-10 weeks later, he turned up at the New York Pro and looking like. Do you remember Thierry Pastel from the 90s?
I do not.
Have a look. There's a guy, he did the 1991 Olympic, a French bodybuilder called Thierry Pastel. If the 212 been around then, he would have just, he would have ruled. His legs are kind of just like how Keon has just exploded in the last year, So he's moving up from classic, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's going to 212. So he's like 9 weeks out, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of him with Hunter Labrada, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was very impressive. So I'm gonna have a lot of good competition when I come back. Yeah. So there's a lot of great new talent out there. So
what do you think is going to happen at the 212 Olympia this year then?
I have no idea.
Okay,
it's going to be very interesting. How do you think Kamal's going to do?
Well, I went to see him 3 weeks ago, and he's 105 kilo, and I've never seen him this full and lean in the off season. He's been prepping since January, mate.
That's awesome. I really like it. So it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a fucking battle. And I'm pretty sure Keon's going to be there too. So he's going to be in the mix. And you got George the Bull in the mix. So yeah, it's going to be it's going to be intense. I think some people are going to be disappointed. And I'm really excited to see. I mean, it tells you how good Derek Lunsford is. If he can come into the Olympia 2 years running and really not nail that condition, then still get second. I mean, if he nails it, mate, if he gets his condition like really dry and full, because you look at that kid's structure, he's incredible. I said to him at the seminar last year, and I said, mate, you'll win 5 of these. I said, you could win 5 of these. I said, just need to get that pin sharp condition, that razor sharp condition, then it's kind of like, everyone's in trouble, Yeah, hopefully he figures it out.
Yeah. So, okay. So what about the big news last week, the Phil Heath comeback?
Oh, that's fucking epic. So I really like Phil. Actually, the first time I met Phil was when I won the Phoenix Europa. He was a guest speaker there.
What year?
I got to actually meet him.
What year? What year was that?
2017.
Sorry, 2017.
Yeah, I actually beat Sean Clarida. Put that in there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I remember. I remember that. Yeah. So, So do you think Sean could have been with a chance of winning it this year?
I think Sean looked fucking amazing last year. I think Sean should have beat Derek, honestly.
Well, I was sat next to George Farah and Dennis James, and I'm trying to remember who said what. I know George Farah said he had Kamal winning, and I'm sure Dennis said he had Sean Clarida either first or second. Because, there's a guy who's every single year has just improved. He's a workhorse. He's like yourself. He just loves training hard and heavy with basic free weights all year round.
Yeah, he's looking nuts this year. So he's a lot bigger, too. I noticed his chest came up. So I think he's going to do damage.
Yeah. So then what's it like being a TikTok superstar then?
It's pretty awesome. So my buddy makes fun of me all the time because I make TikToks, but yeah, he's always on TikTok sending me videos of girls on TikTok doing their little dances. I was like, I thought this was for for people, and he was like, I like what I like. So
well, I would say that TikTok is just for girls, but I'll give you a pass because I watch your TikTok videos that you put on Instagram, and honestly, mate, they're hilarious. I mean, what was the one where the dog was trying to bite you in the balls?
Oh yeah,
yeah, you were like, get off, man. His dog kept jumping up, and it was really funny. And obviously, you hadn't trained the dog to do that, so.
I don't. She just fucking chases after me. So I was like, she don't want no smoke. And then I started to run. I ran into the couch. I fucking destroyed my knee, man. It was fucking bleeding. I got like a pretty gnarly scar, and like I got to get rid of my dog though.
Why?
They won't accept him. And when I was looking for houses, they won't accept that breed in San Diego.
In San Diego, they won't take that breed of dog anywhere.
It's like they discriminate against pit bulls like they discriminate against black people again. As soon as I mention it's a pit bull, they're like, yeah, fuck you. You're not living here.
Okay. Just completely threw me there.
It was very difficult, man. Like, I was fucking panicking because I couldn't find a place. I applied to like 40 and they just weren't accepting. So, okay, time to get rid of the dog. And yeah, so she drives out. I got the delivery service picking her up on Friday, and then they'll ship her to Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. So have you given? Has she gone to a good home or?
Yeah. She's going to a really good friend. So I've known her a long time, and she has a dog already. So she has kids. So
that's good. I know Phil Heath likes his bulldogs. He's got 2 American. Bulldogs or pit bulls? I'm not. I have cats, so I'm a.
Yeah. You're a cat person.
I'm a cat person.
So I had a trippy dream, man, the other night. Fucking, I was in my bed. I woke up and I look over and there's this huge fucking iguana in my room, right? So I said, what the fuck? And I run out the room and I get outside and there's an even bigger iguana. This iguana is like the size of a fucking alligator. So I run to the bathroom. I close the door and I'm freaking out. And then I hear like iguana fighting with my dog. So I peek out the window and I see Princess fighting with this fucking iguana. And I was like, oh shit, get him, fucking get him. And then 3 cats out of nowhere come running down the hallway and start fucking this fucking iguana up. And then one of the cats grab an axe and chops the fucking iguana's neck off. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And I woke up like trippy as fuck, man.
So that, I think you need to calm the smoking down before bedtime, mate. Because that sounds like kind of the dreams I don't have.
Yeah, it was nuts, man. And I never really remember my dreams, but that one was epic.
Yeah, I should say so. Yeah. So then, tell it. Yeah, how's the King's Wrath doing, mate? Your supplement, how's that going?
King's Wrath is doing really well. I got another flavor coming out, fruit punch. Listen, I invested $15,000 12 weeks ago, and I still don't have my order yet. Oh no! So that's frustrating. So I talked to the manufacturer. They said they should be shipping it out on Tuesday. So I have a new flavor of King's Wrath, and I'll have the King's Inferno, which I'm really excited to release.
So that's the King's Wrath, the first one. Obviously, that was your pre-workout, and I think you market that really well as well because it's a pre-workout, and you like doing crazy dumb shit hyped up on pre-workout. So it's the perfect match, mate. It's the perfect match. So you've now bringing out your own fat burner as well.
Yeah. So my number one seller, I would say, is pre-workout in my store and then fat burners, right? So I have some really awesome fat burners in my store, but sometimes they're too strong and I lose customers because of that. So I reached out to the biochemist. I was like, hey, I want to create a fat burner. I told him which ones I like. He came up with a formula and I was like, you know what? We're going to make it into a 2-serving formula. So that way the really intense people like me can take 2 pills, and then the average gym goers, they can just take 1 and have minimal side effects. And we fucking crushed it. So it's going to be a really awesome product, man.
Excellent. So, yeah, because I know that things like non-stim fat burners, they're kind of all the rage, so people can take them late at night. So maybe you need to maybe you could do an AM formula or PM formula.
Possibly, very possible. But I've noticed that people really like the stuff that they can feel.
Yeah, 10 minutes, isn't it? Yeah.
But I'm excited about it. It's going to be epic.
Yeah. So going back to, question I forgot to ask. Going back to your TikTok and your Instagram video, what's your favorite one you've done then? Because I've seen some real corkers, mate. Because I watch them on your Instagram, not TikTok, because TikTok's for girls.
Yeah.
Sorry, just putting that out there.
TikTok is so weird. I have about 68,000 followers on TikTok.
Really?
I have about 130,000 on Instagram. Yeah. I get more views on TikTok than I do on Instagram.
Wow.
I have a video on TikTok that has 4.7 million views. So
do you want to tell us what you were doing in that video? Or?
I was just doing a fucking leg press. It was nothing special.
Okay.
Like my facial expressions and the sweat and everything was there, but I think I fucked up my Instagram because I was doing controversial posts. So I noticed that my engagement went down right when the lockdown began, and I was having my awakening moment. So they blocked me, but now they came out with the Instagram Reels. So every time I post on there, I have over 12 to 20,000 views per video.
Wow. So, okay, that's good. That's good. So come on, what's your favorite one then? Tell me.
Your favorite one?
Come on.
I'd have to say the one where Princess was chasing me. That was pretty fucking hilarious.
I can't remember that one.
Yeah, and then what else? I had another one, the board in the house one. Did you see that one?
I can't remember. I like the one where you're trying to get the bar. You're trying to get they're grabbing it at the end to try to pick it up. Like, they pick the chairs up by one leg and everything. That was a good one.
Yeah, it's a lot harder than people think. So I don't know. I really like TikTok. America, they're motherfucking gangsters though. They told TikTok, listen, you can't provide service in the U.S. because it's a threat to national security. But if you sell the company to an American company, like, that's fine. Like, they just fucking gangstered them to sell their company, and I thought that was some gangster shit, man.
Some gangster shit. Okay, because I heard something about TikTok. Yeah. So, but I will say it though, TikTok's for girls, mate.
Is it?
It is for girls. It's official. Yeah, it's official.
No.
Saying that, I've never even looked at it, so I wouldn't know. So.
Yeah.
So sorry if I've offended any guys with their TikTok accounts. So So let's talk about the Olympia this year, mate. The Mr. Olympia. So obviously we've got Phil Heath coming back, and we've got Brandon Curry looking to defend, and how do you see the Open Mr. Olympia going down?
Yeah, nobody's beating Phil Heath if he's on.
Okay.
Yeah. I really like Brandon, but come on. And it's fucking Phil Heath. You feel me? So I could see Phil, then Brandon, and then who else?
How do you think Flex Lewis will do coming up to the Open?
Ooh, Flex Lewis. That should be fucking interesting. I'm very curious to see what he does. And
so tell me, okay, then you got 226 version of Flex Lewis in the same insane condition, because Neil Hill is not going to let him get on stage if he isn't absolutely bone dry. Let's face it, Flex Lewis's condition is always 100%.
Yeah, I can definitely see Flex Lewis top 3. If Hottie could do it, fucking Flex could do it, and it'd be very interesting to see because he could possibly beat Brandon, and we just gotta wait and see. Yeah.
So I'll ask this question many, many times, and I'll put it in my MD column. You got to call out with William Bonac, Hadi Chupin, and Flex Lewis. Who win? All X212s, all kind of, they've kind of been neck and neck, and so who beats who?
William's a fucking animal. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of fucking muscle there, so it's gonna be between him and Flex. Honestly, I'm not sure who would win. I would say, fuck.
What about Hadi? Come on, what about Hadi?
Flex has a prettier physique, but fucking Bonnic's just a fucking animal, man. Like,
and don't forget, he's consistent as well. He's consistent.
So it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be a pretty good Olympia.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it's gonna be when it comes to spectators or whatnot, but who knows? Maybe after the election, this Corona stuff might just disappear. Whew, magic. But
okay.
That should be interesting.
Oh, we've just lost connection.
Yeah, man. I've had 4 clients who tested positive for it, and I was around them. I've been around hundreds of people every day for the last months, going to San Diego, working out, been to the beach. I have not been inside, locked down. I was like, fuck that. If I'm going to die, I'm going to fucking die happy. I just don't understand how people are living in fear for something that has a 99.7% survival rate. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, but I had a friend, Simon Fan, on a couple of episodes ago, and he was like in an induced coma for a month. He lost 60 pounds in body weight. I mean, that guy, he died 3 times on the table. It was like he had to learn how to walk again, and he was on a ventilator. So, there are, and this guy's only mid-40s. He's not like 90 years old with like a load of health conditions, So
I think that the virus is 100% real, but if you're healthy and you work out, you'll survive.
Well, he did barely.
Yeah, he survived, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Hell yeah.
It was on the show the other week. No, it's I think. Well, I don't want to talk about the bloody virus. I think I'm sick of the virus, to be honest. It's been It's so what was it like for you this year? Were you still able to train and work and do everything okay? Or
Yeah, I never went without a gym. So I've always had access to a gym,
That's
whether
good.
it be my local gym, then the city got involved. So then I went to Arizona, then they got shut down. Then I went to San Diego, and then San Diego got shut down, but then the city approved veterans with disabilities can work out there. So like I've always had a gym.
So you just walked in with a limp and showed him your ex-veteran card and
I'm 100% disabled.
borrowed your mate's wheelchair. Oh, come on.
Listen, I honestly think I was blessed, because if I didn't have that disability, this lockdown would have been very stressful for me. But like I've been able to pay all my bills and everything, so
Yeah.
I'm good.
So you've been fine. So, well, I think we're kind of obviously it's a bit different in the UK, but I've been hearing varying stories of how it's affected people in America and everything like that. Some people are unaffected, some people are heavily affected. You know, it's kind of.
Oh, I'm affected. I'm fucking pissed off. Like 100,000 plus business a year is fucking in limbo because I can't open my store. So I lost fucking thousands of fucking dollars, but it's what it is. I'll rebound. You feel me? So.
Yeah. All right, then, Q. Well, I said to you before, I said, you know, because the last time you came on, mate, I felt a little bit deflated after, because you weren't very receptive the last time you came on and interviewed. I was expecting like this, and I kind of got this person who was very, you were within yourself, and you were
probably gonna die, so I'm sorry.
Your body language is guarded, and you weren't really giving, and I was like, come on, wake up, come on, I want to kick you, you know, it was like. So I'm glad, because obviously I've monitored your progress in the last year, you know, with everything and how you've been, and it's been nice to see that you're kind of in a much better place now, and you seem just happier, and you're kind of enjoying your training, and you know, because you were kind of like done with everything a year ago. Everything you were kind of like fuck everything. It was just like I'm just But now I just said you just need to take a break, take a step back, take a breather. And it's good to see you regrouped and you're happy and you're excited about bodybuilding again and training. And it's good to see you've got that kind of Dwayne Q energy back, you know, because it's just, I want to see it for you, mate. I want good things for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm definitely in a better place. So if any athlete is struggling with their mental, I think if they were able to address it and take care of it, their progress would be much better. So your mental is very important.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, you're right. 100% right there, mate. Okay, and are you going to be in Las Vegas in December?
I might show up. Yeah.
I think you should. I think you should. I think I'd be offended if you didn't.
Okay, bet. Okay. As long as they allow spectators, I'll go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, because we want to see you back up there, mate. Because I mean, really, you're like top 5 Olympia material now. You know, it's like it's.
Well, this is what I tell you. 2021, I will be Mr. Olympia for 212. How's that sound?
There you go. You
got it on your show. Let's go.
Oh, shit. We forgot to press record. Okay. All right, then. I was going to call you Q then. All right, Dwayne. Well, it's really good to catch up, mate. And like I said, I'm just happy to see you back to yourself and keep doing your crazy TikTok videos, your crazy Instagram, and sorry to hear about your dog. But like I said, you got to move. Sometimes you got to make sacrifices in life, you know.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, buddy. Right, I'll speak to you soon, and hopefully I'll see you in Las Vegas at the bar.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, man.
All right, then, Dwayne. All right, take care, mate. Go train.
Have a good one.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On The Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we are joined once again with Milos The Mind Sarcev. Yay!
You got it right, Giles. Thank you.
Yes, sorry, we had a little discussion about how to pronounce names, didn't we, Milos?
Yes. So it's Milos Sarcev.
Milos.
Let me tell you, nobody can say that. Yeah, can I tell you a super quick, funny story? My first pro show, I was on the stage, and Bain D'Amelia called my name like 4 times, but he didn't really call my name. So I'm just like standing there, and then he said, "Competitor number 5." I said, "Oh shit, it's me," you know. So, but he couldn't pronounce my name anyway.
Was
I got the first call out in my first show?
Was that the 1991 San Jose?
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, such a historian. Yeah. I was standing right next to Albert Beckless and Tim Belknap, and I told this guy, please take a pictures. So I'm taking pictures on the side, and I'm supposed to be on the first call out with Sonny Schmidt and Ron Love.
Wow.
But that was the greatest experience. Anyway, so they call me anything. As long as if it starts with M, I respond.
Yeah, Milos. Yeah. So what was the worst butchering of your name you've ever heard? Derek, it's fine. What was the worst butchering of your name you ever heard? The worst pronunciation?
Miko. A lot of people call me Milo, you know, because the famous Milo, right? But Skartsi and Sarcev and stuff like that. It's Sarcev. Yeah. But I forgot about my name.
Anyway.
Let's go to the show.
Okay. Now, there's a few topics I want to talk to you about, but the big one, obviously, is the huge news that came in last week of the return of Phil Heath. What are your thoughts on that? So tell us what you're thinking about.
Okay, let me tell you. Of course, I was maybe a little bit critical about Phil Heath, and honestly, I wanted him to lose to Sean Roden. When Sean won, I was actually happy about it. You know, because there was just something about Phil, maybe his arrogance that he denies it, but there was, you know, some, it's one of those things, be humble or be humble. And, for me, actually, I was pleased to see Sean win, and Sean beat him on conditioning and only on that one aspect that Phil lost, which was midsection. But to be fair and to be honest, Phil Heath is probably, most genetically gifted, since the Flex Wheeler that we saw back in the day, with the difference that Phil Heath could come better conditioned than Flex Wheeler was. And Phil hit the standard, he set the standard so high. So even when he was just slightly off, we were all talking about, he was off. He wasn't really off. He was off for a Phil Heath standard that he set long ago. So if Phil managed to control his abs, and I sure hope he does, there are many breathing techniques. There is glue your stomach to the spine kind of thing that you can practice. If he can keep that, I mean, he can even keep his shoulders down. We've seen a lot of pictures with his shoulders down, but delts is so fucking round and full. Arm is phenomenal that he can get away with it. He has this absolutely phenomenal legs, both front and back and side, all from 3 angles. So when I compare him to Brandon Curry, I was very analytical about that, so I'm going to tell you my aspects. Shape would go to Phil Heath, but V-taper and X-frame is dramatically more emphasized with Brandon Curry. Brandon Curry has wider clavicles and a bigger V-taper. Okay, so if you go for this aesthetics, shaped part is for Phil Heath, V-taper for Brandon Curry. Yeah. Now, conditioning, I think that we've seen Phil Heath many times ripped to pieces, sliced, striated, that Brandon Curry didn't have. Brandon had a good conditioning. He had this round muscle belly, his full look, but he doesn't have those striations on the delts, striations on the chest, that maybe, purists would look for. So in general, this way, when I talk about it from aesthetic side of criteria, I would still give a nod to Phil Heath because of his conditioning, round muscle bellies, and just overall shape. Yes, V-taper goes to Brandon. Yeah. But this is if you want to jump in on that, this is my first look at the judging. Yeah. Second is balance. Balance, Phil Heath is way more balanced. I mean, Brandon Curry has tremendous upper body, but legs were lacking. And it was visible. It was visible when he was next to Hadi Chupan. Hadi Chupan explored him right there. So I think that Phil Heath's legs are spectacular, including calves. That hamstring glutes, tie-in and striations were ridiculous. And he knows it on the stage. He always points out that. I mean, look at it from the front. I mean, there's medialis, lateralis, rectus femoris, striations everywhere. I mean, it's freaky. I expect Phil Heath to come at his best. I have a feeling there's going to be deja vu, like back in 1991 when Lee Haney returned from 1990 Olympia, where he didn't look so good and everybody was aiming for a title. Sean Ray, Dorian, Lee Labrada, they were talking about it. And then Lee Haney showed up at his absolute best. So I think that Phil Heath is going to come in his absolute best. I think so. So
1 second. Sorry, Milos. You think he could be better than when he won his first Mr. Olympia in 2011? I mean, what year do you consider to be Phil Heath's best?
Well, yeah, you mentioned 11. I mean, he was good all throughout. Okay, but the 11, I think we all point out is his best. But here's what I want to tell you: is that physique is constantly there. Yeah, he maybe went a little bit for more size, so he lost that midsection that he had back there.
Yeah,
it's fixable, and he had now 2 years to fix it.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to build any more delts and back and show. I mean, that back double biceps is out of this world. The shoulders are ridiculous. I mean, most muscular pose. Most of the time, I have to actually question: is this a Photoshop? Or this is really Phil. I mean,
Milos, another thing is he hasn't missed a beat with his training. When I did a UK tour with him last year, and he looked like he could literally, because he was hinting, because it was like 6-7 weeks out from the Olympia, and he says, man, he kept teasing us all week, saying maybe I'll jump on a diet when I go back and do the Olympia. So he's a guy that, you know, literally he had the size that he would probably have at around 6 to 8 weeks out from the Olympia. So he's not like a guy who stopped training and now has decided to come back. He has carried on training.
For sure. He's not just bodybuilder for the sake of competing. He's bodybuilder because he loves it.
Yeah.
You know, so again, maybe if I was harsh before, you know, saying I just think there is a fine line between arrogance and confidence is sexy and desirable by all means and saluted, but arrogance, you know, it's quite irritating to many people. So a lot of people, when they see arrogant person, they want them to be humble. But to be fair and honest, judging just the physique, Phil Heath is close to perfect. I mean, we talk about Ronnie Coleman being phenomenal. Recently, you can see on Instagram all these comparisons, Phil Heath and Ronnie in many comparison shots, and I mean he gives Ronnie a run for her money, and including back poses. Like, oh my God! So yeah, I think that Phil Heath will show up at his best, and if he shows up at his best, he's going to be super hard to beat.
Do you? I mean, let's go back. You said about arrogance. I've kind of not known Phil very well for all these years. I've known him kind of quite well in the last couple of years, and I've met him a couple of times. And I never got like an arrogant sense from him. I never got a sense of arrogance that he exuded to me. But I think a lot of that personally, from what I found and what he said to me, I think the Generation Iron film kind of painted him as like this arrogant, spoiled, kind of gifted athlete that wasn't training hard. Who was, you know, driving around in sports cars and coasting by on his genetics. I think that was how it set the narrative for the next few years. Then with the onslaught of social media, because Phil's a very direct person, so he won't kind of take shit off people. So he does retaliate. So I think, I don't see where this arrogant thing has come from. I just think, or is it just because he was so good and he says, well, I'm going to win 10 Olympias and bounce? You know, do you think that's where it come from?
Well, you see, you had the feedback from the many fans. I mean, of course, we in the bodybuilding, we talk about everybody. So everybody, all over the place, when they start talking about, they talk about Olympia and then current Olympia champ. And then, I heard this remark way too often. I must say there is nothing personally that, Phil did to me.
Yeah.
We had one time, some little bump on the road. I repost one picture from Samir Banout. He put him and Arnold on the stage, and Arnold had a super flat stomach, and Phil didn't.
Right.
And I just reposted, that was like 3 years ago or something, and then he immediately, responded like, oh, "What the hell are you doing?" And I told him like, "Listen, there was no hard feelings or any intention really, but you are on Olympia stage. That's the picture from Olympia stage. You let yourself go for 1 second. I don't care if it's 1 second."
Right. Okay. Okay.
So this is what I put it there, right? But yeah, I understand he didn't particularly appreciate it. I'm sure I wouldn't appreciate somebody getting me in between pose and my stomach maybe not being perfect. But still, it's not that one picture. There is like hundreds of pictures.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that's probably why a lot of people say that's what. Because you said at the start he was off at the 2018 Olympia. I don't think he was off. I think it was the midsection. They saw Sean Roden with the, a very pretty midsection, and and he was in the condition of his life. And I don't feel like Phil was really off. I remember when he came up by himself and he was hitting some poses and he wasn't getting the same kind of crowd reaction because things weren't really popping on him like they normally were. They weren't like, because normally he's so full and so exploding fullness.
Yeah, but that's when I'm talking about conditioning. You see, every time when somebody mentioned conditioning,
I think it was fullness.
People narrowed it down just to dryness and leanness. Well, that's just one. Conditioning is also fullness. You want to have that skin burn.
Yeah, I agree.
Muscle glycogen and then striations. So I said this in the beginning. You'll hear again when you listen to the show again. I said Phil was not off. He was off for the standard that he set. So in that comparison, you see, and Sean Roden was dry to the bone, ripped to pieces, and he exploited him on an ab shot exactly. Yeah. On the front legs and an ab shot. Everything else was very comparable, and he could go in a Phil's favors way.
So actually, pose for pose, who did you have winning that Olympia, that 2018 Olympia? You said it was because you said you wanted him to be humbled, but what about his actual physique? Because a lot of people still had Phil winning, a lot of people had Sean winning. So who personally, forget about the wanting him to be humbled, who did you have winning that Olympia?
Well, you see, last time I had to correct myself on your show. On the first show, I said that Jay Cutler would beat Ronnie at his best from 2009. And then I revisited and watched the videos and watched the pictures, and it's like, I didn't really say that correctly. I was blown away with this stamp picture of
it's impressive.
Jay Cutler. Later, actually, my training partner told me, "Hey, man, this is Photoshop." Like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that this can be Photoshop, right? But then I also told you, Jay impressed me so much 2009 when he stepped on the stage. Yeah. He within 1 minute he won the contest. He beat Dexter. So now when I revisit, Phil Heath has a better physique than Sean Roden overall. I mean, when we just look at the muscle by muscle, pose by pose, yes, I would give. Sean is phenomenal, but I would still go with the Heath. He is that gifted guy that has a Flex Wheeler, cartoonish superhero character type of muscle. Yeah. Round muscle did everything. This is exploded. Minus abs. But here it is now. You cannot go for a perfect physique and say minus something. Something is missing. Yeah. Okay? So he has to be penalized. So for a penalizing criteria sake, I would still say that Sean should have beat Phil. But if Phil fixes his stomach and comes in his normal condition, he's pretty much untouchable.
So you said there before, you mentioned Brandon and Phil. Do you think that's who the final two are going to come down to? Or do you think anyone's got a chance of maybe knocking one or both of them out? Do you think somebody could beat both of them, or who?
Oh, let me tell you. And I would love this to happen. I would love this more than anything else to happen. Okay. The Dexter Jackson at his last show also puts everything together and comes absolutely freaky looking, ripped to pieces, fuller, and he managed, if you notice, at the Arnold Classic, to control his abs better. Yeah, ab shot all the way down, like 8-pack, not 6-pack. He had some issues before, and I even criticized him. I said, like, Dex, you have a most perfect physiques, but you often forget about the stomach.
Milos, do you know what I heard regards to why Dexter always looks, his midsection always looks better at the Arnold's? Because it's only over 1 day. The Olympia is supposed to be over 2 days. And apparently when he loads earlier and kind of fills out earlier, and he only has to do it all in 1 day, peak for the 1 day, they said he doesn't sort of eat as much and he doesn't kind of get the stomach bloat, you know?
Well, you see, people would like to strategize and think of this. I've competed with Dexter Jackson 99. Mm-hmm. We traveled, we went to Rome, we competed in the World Championship, and then we go to England, travel, eat everything. I mean, I remember when we get off the flight, we all went to Burger King. I mean, all the goddamn bodybuilders, we didn't eat right food. We were all eating like burgers and fries and shit.
Well, you were someone that kept your food strict on these tours, wasn't it? Because I mean, you said the week to me, you said like you'd done every single show organized, like 77 pro shows. I mean, were you just staying on a strict diet the entire time, or were you just grabbing food wherever you could?
Sometimes I just listened to Hidetada's interview with Rich Gaspari, and he was saying how in European tour, him and Lila Brada was staying in a diet, and the other guys, just fell off. So this is how I managed to beat guys like Kevin Levrone and Chris Cormier and a few other greats on the European tour by keeping myself strict.
Yeah.
And they were like Lee Priest, maybe 97. But the last show, he was even joking like with the Russian bodybuilders, he was like jiggling his ass, showing it.
I mean, Kevin Levrone came on the show, and it was about a few months ago, wasn't it, Kevin, a couple of months ago? And he was saying when he was on the tours, he said he would rather just go without food. He said he would sometimes give it to some of the other athletes. He said he would just rather have like a vodka at night and just. He said he would just not. He said he would rather not eat. He said he would just give his food away.
About Kevin Levrone.
Come on.
He does not eat. He drinks goddamn alcohol. 1 week before the contest in 2002. Olympia, he would be on the photo shoot, and I go, hey, can I get you something? Yeah, get me martini. Martini. He would constantly drink, and I know that Kevin has this kind of musculature that he doesn't lose his fullness, right?
Oh.
And actually, he believed that alcohol would, get him drier. It's funny things. Ask Sean Ray. There was one time they did at Olympia side chest pose, and they came too close to each other, and Sean was like, "Oh my God, you stink like alcohol."
Well, thing is, I mean, obviously, what about the vodka and coffee story with Ronnie Coleman? I mean, that worked for Ronnie, So maybe there's something in this.
Yeah, and it's on the video. First, they gave us a Russian kvass, and he was drinking on the video.
Okay.
But then, he just said, "Give me some vodka," and you could say. But now, on a serious note, Kevin was known to go with just like fish and veggies, diet, and then hardly did carbs to my knowledge, and he stayed quite good. But then, like 1993 European Grand Prix Tour, he was definitely slipping off, and I managed to beat him in like last show in France. So when you say this, would Dexter Jackson slip off his diet? No. This is the last time the world is going to see Dexter Jackson. I'm 1,000,000% sure he's going to put it together. He's going to narrow it down, analyze everything. Anything that comes into his mouth is going to be calculated to present, what would be the greatest story that he wins his 30th pro show and retires as Mr. Olympia. That would be great. Let's tell you, he believes that he has a chance against both Phil and Brendan.
So you honestly think Dexter could win the Olympia this year at 50 years old?
I lost to 61-year-old Albert Backus 1991. He beat all of us. So
Niagara.
Let's take this Niagara Falls correctly. Let's forget about Dexter's age. Look at his body. Okay, when you go for aesthetics, he doesn't get better than that. I mean, really. So V-taper, X-frame is there. Legs improved. I mean, usually guys at this age lose legs, but he actually improved legs. And then my little criticism was midsection. But when you look at the old pictures of Dexter, ab shot is phenomenal. All the way down, intercostal serratus come into that abdominal wall, and then that linea alba was deep. inside, and then everything was perfect. He has glimpse of that at the Arnold Classic.
Yeah.
So of course, I would tell him, train abs, train abs, train abs. Do the interview with Giles and keep your abs tight. Hard, keep your abs tight. I mean, this is. It has to become your second nature.
Yeah.
I tell this to my guys. You cannot relax for a moment on the stage, and especially not if you have a, not to say bubbly gut, but you have a somewhat distended, and then you lose the separation. Look at Hadi Chupan at the last year's Olympia. There was not a second he lost this crazy midsection, deep abs, and there was an eye catcher. You glance to the lineup, boom. You look at it's the 6 little muscles in the middle of the body. It's the most visible muscle. So yes, at this stage, all these guys have every other muscle, shoulders and chest and arms and back and legs, everything else. How many Mr. Olympia competitors have crazy abs? Okay, how many? So if you come with the crazy, I mean, look at Max Charles at the Arnold Classic. Boom. You have to look at, oh my God.
His midsection was very impressive. I remember when he walked out and the veins over his abs and the thickness of his abs. I was very impressed. His midsection was incredible at the Arnold. Incredible.
Yeah, so I think that Dexter would do that. And I really, again, of course, we all have our favorite teams. My Barcelona lost, goddamn, in the League of Champions. But going into the Miss Olympia, my favorite is Dexter Jackson, of course.
Your favorite? What about Bonac? You think Bonac's beaten him several times now? Do you think Bonac's not going to be looking to... He got second last year. So Dexter versus Bonac, who wins?
For me, again, I'm an aesthetic, shape type of guy. All things equal, Bonac can be bigger, but he's never going to have a shape of Dexter Jackson. Bonac has a short torso, a little bit, and is also narrow. Tons of muscle, heaping muscle, too much muscle, But then he lost his legs a little bit. He's not so, dominant like before.
They're coming back. They're coming back. You must have seen him at the Arnold. I mean, they weren't great at the Olympia last year, but he still took second, and his leg was a lot better at the Arnold Classic. And I think his leg's going to be back up to full strength at the Olympia this year.
Yes,
I do. I believe that.
Just okay. Why did Frank Zane won 3 Olympias back in 77, 8, and 9? Why did Mohammed Makawi could beat Lee Haney at a show before the Olympia, or at one Olympia, he was second and Hani was third, and stuff like that. Because back in the day, they valued aesthetics and shape. That's number one in bodybuilding. So the thing is, you want a beauty or you want a freak show? If you want a beauty, if you want to bring aesthetics and, this is beautiful physique, tell me which person on earth is going to look at the Frank Zane and say, this is disgusting. Right? And I tell you, from my standpoint, when I was competing in 92, 93, up to 97, I was a little bit, more on the static side, and they would say, that's great. But then when I went 99 and I tried to be a little freaky, and there was many people, including some of my members of a family, this is disgusting. Shit.
Really? So that's one, okay.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Do you want Mr. Olympia to be beauty contest or a freak show? So when we had a freak show, bigger is better, bigger is better. This is what potentiated everybody to put more size. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah,
put
but
more size.
Can't it be both, Milos? Why can't it be both?
I'm sorry?
Why can't it be both? A blend of both? You said a beauty contest or a freak show. Why can't it be both?
Why can't it be both? Yeah, yes, but do you want Porsche or a big old truck? Do you want a flawless diamond or you want just a big old diamond?
What a big old Porsche.
So for me, I mean, seriously, this is bodybuilding as a beautiful, muscular, shapely physique. I think that's what should be emphasized. Okay. So I think like about 2017 when Arnold and Jim Mannion started talking at the Arnold Classic when Cedric McMillan won, oh, we want beauty. We want that classic look. Why did they bring a classic bodybuilding? Because the bodybuilding lost that classic look. Yeah. Everybody looked classic back in the day, which means aesthetics was #1 priority. Yeah, more size. So Sergio Oliva pushed a little bit size, and then Arnold was putting, that exercise. But then when you look at really, neither Larry Scott had, some major muscle, neither Frank Zane or Franco Colombo or Chris Dickerson, so.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Milos, I'd like to talk about your opinion on Hunter Labrada, because we spoke before Hunter did the Tampa. He won Tampa as kind of many of us predicted, and he looked absolutely sensational. What are your feelings on Hunter Labrada's future in the Pro League now he's won his pro debut?
Well, before the contest, if you remember, you were saying, can Lee be in top 6 at Olympia? And I told you he can possibly even win, and you were shocked. With the Dennis James, right?
I was very shocked.
Okay. Then we had that argument. You disagree with me that, Hunter is not bigger version of his father, that Lee had a little bit more aesthetics and shape to him. But I said that Hunter has 40, 50 pounds on him with a very similar shape. I'm going to tell you, Hunter is the future. He has everything. His conditioning actually was not so good. You said he looked sensational. I think that if he was next to some super ripped guy, and on that matter, Dwayne Walker, I think, was way better conditioned, and they just didn't give them fair comparisons. So is Hunter Labrada top Olympia potential? Yes, absolutely. Put him next to Flex Lewis, and you're going to see a lot of comparisons and few things going in Hunter's favor.
Like what though? Like what? Next to Flex Lewis, what does he beat Flex Lewis on? Tell me. Yeah, but hang on, no. Flex Lewis, we've only ever seen as a 212, so I don't think you can give that argument.
Yeah, I've seen Flex in my gym when he was a kid, and I put first 30 pounds on him, and I see him growing, and I see becoming. So let's another.
Yeah, but he's different now. He's a different animal now, and I think you're going to see a new. What if he's 230 on stage this year?
Okay, you want me
Come
to?
On.
I can be super analytical.
Okay.
Hunter has wider shoulders, wider clavicles.
Yeah.
Once they lift the arms, he has a way better bicep. The Flex has the hanging triceps and all that stuff, but arms up, his arms don't look so impressive, and so the whole front double bicep pose. In that sense, he would lose to Hunter.
So you think?
Chest,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, you have a comment?
No. Continue.
Chest, yeah, with the exception that I've seen that Hunter probably has a chest there. He managed to hide it pretty well, but he doesn't really deform his physique. But there's something to it, so maybe that's why he couldn't train. I think that I would go to Hunter's favor as far as chest. Flex always had a little bit flattish. Okay. Abs, definitely Hunter. That's not Flex's strong part. He has a small waist, but doesn't have those deep chiseled symmetrical abs.
You're taking it body part by body part. Now, as we know, it's judged as a flowing physique. So you're saying that you think Hunter could beat Flex Lewis this year?
Can he? I don't think
Come on.
I think he will. I think that Flex is going to also show up way improved like we have never seen him before.
Yeah, well, he's an open now. He's going to stand to reason he's going to.
On that note, I agree with you. I mean, which Flex should we expect on the stage?
Yeah.
Flex that beat Hadi Chupan in Korea, that he shouldn't have beat Hadi Chupan in Korea, would not have a chance, to make a top 6 at Olympia.
Yeah.
But Flex that we can imagine coming into the Olympia with added size because he is not limited with 212 and he can improve, some body parts, maybe get full chest and showed up, I don't know, 225.
At least I think he'll be 225 at least. I think that's what he used to be 4 weeks out back in 2012. He told me.
I don't think he should come too heavy, because conditioning is going to be making or breaking, and he doesn't need to be too heavy. Again, he has everything: crazy legs, crazy back double biceps, crazy, triceps. Most muscular pose is good, but again, compared to Hunter Labrada, it is close. Hunter would give him a run for the money, but I think Flex is going to beat him this year if Hunter competes.
Okay. Well, Hunter's definitely doing the Olympia. I spoke to him recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's definitely in. He's really gunning hard for the Olympia now, because the thing is, he's going to be riding high. He's won the Tampa. He's won his pro debut. There's a lot of talk about him. So he said because he was prepping for the New York Pro back in May originally, so he's been on and off prep since kind of like the start of the year, so he really wants to finish the year with a bang. He wouldn't give me any predictions of where but he wants to be up there and he wants to be really competitive.
It could be a good idea. As Dennis said before on your show, it's the best year to do it because he believes that people are not going to make it there. I would love to see everybody, Hadi Chupan and William Bonyak and everybody there, but you don't know if this is going to happen, So my criticism, I'm going to, be bald. I've seen even a video when Lila Brada was commentating on Hunter's condition. So, you see, it's a great condition. Water is in the right place. Water was not in the right place. Water was under the skin. You could see it. So his conditioning was not really, if you're honest. You said he looks sensational. His body looks sensational. But his conditioning was far from sensational, in my book.
Yeah. So you said you're quite impressed by the third place guy, Dwayne Walker. I like that guy's physique. We had him on the show last week, and I like his structure. He's only 225, He's 5'7", 225. He's not like, I thought he was like 5'10", 250, and he's he's a year out of the 212. Ooh, voice is going.
I think he's from Jamaica. I talked to him.
Yeah.
Guy is going to shock a lot of people very soon, because, we actually talked the other day, and the guy has everything, right? And he's still like a baby in the sport. He didn't do many things.
29 he is. He's 29.
Yeah, so I assume just once he does something, he's going to... He's doing the New York Pro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you going to fly him in, get him doing some giant sets in your gym?
No. I'm there to support Max Charles and
okay.
Earl Moore. Yeah, so those are my guys for that show. It just I'm gonna be there for sure. I'm gonna.
So
are you gonna be there?
Not New York. No, I'll be at the Olympia. But so it's obviously because you're working with Max Charles again. Still.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, fantastic! You did a really, really good job with him at the Arnold Classic. He was 8th place there, and I know a lot of people weren't happy about that. They reckoned he should have been much, much higher. But at least, he's really bringing his best version of his physique. So has he made any improvements from the Arnold since you've been working with him this last few months?
Well, this is heartbreaking. He didn't have I expect him actually to pull it off and look even better than Arnold. Yes.
Even better.
But put it this way, he was not training in a gym. He was training in some house with the dumbbells and shit like that. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
Because of pandemic, right? So and I tell you another thing. For me, because I worked briefly with him, so he looked to me like way behind the schedule. Mm-hmm. But he never panics because he knows his body that well that he can drop that fast.
But he told me once. He told me at Tampa 3 years ago. He really struggles with his eating. He really has to push himself to get the amount of food in that he needs.
It's still the same. I force him to eat it. Yeah. I force him to eat it. So now when we drop it, he's actually happy that he doesn't have to eat it.
It's a perfect client. Yes. Really. Perfect client.
So let me put it this way. I want to see improved legs, and I think you even mentioned also lower back.
Yeah.
This. That was the only thing that was missing to make him absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are sleepers. He can mess up a lot of people coming, slice and dice, improve a little bit legs, a little bit. You can stand him next to anyone, and he's going to give them help.
Yeah. So what's this exploding fullness I've been seeing on your Instagram posts? Some of your old pictures of athletes like Khadr and Dennis Wolf in 2007. Was there, because your guys, I mean, like you said that you worked with Dennis Wolf in 2007 when he took fifth, when he got last place the year before. What was, tell us about this exploding fullness thing and what this means, because you can always spot your guys because they do look like Dennis James when you were working with him, so full and so dry. How do you get that? How do you achieve that?
So actually, I'm going to tell you this. I talked to Dwayne Walker the other day, and then we talked, and I told him your condition was, excellent. But then I see that you didn't really go for that super full look. Yeah. And he didn't even know what it means. So actually, I posted this, kind of for him to see and other people to see and recognize. When you go for a condition, when you step on the stage, okay, let's say you're preparing somebody. What do you want him to be? You want him to be as lean as possible, right? And this is happening with the weeks of dieting. As muscular as possible, so don't lose any muscle along the way. It's weeks of dieting. But then when you want to step on the stage, you want to be fully loaded with glycogen, have maximum cellular hydration, and minimal subcutaneous hydration. So this is that manipulation of you're going to push the glycogen and water in, and you're going to take the extra water out. So if you achieve that look, you can create the illusion.
So what's the secret? How do you manage it? How do you do it?
I'll tell you this. Every time when I competed, I mean, even you've seen a 99 British Grand Prix. Yeah. I beat Nasser and Marcus.
Yeah, you did.
On that show. And I was competitive and comparative in a size department. I was so fucking full. It was crazy.
That you were massive. That you were huge that year. Yeah, you were huge.
Yeah. But many times people would say, Milos, you don't look so big off the stage. I say, yeah, I create illusion on the stage. So for Dennis Wolf, okay, you follow his career. Yeah. He said 2006 he was in top 15. 2007 I prepared him for New York, and he was top 3. I fill him up like crazy, but he wasn't full. Like, so shit. Then I fill him up more for Keystone, and he won that show. He was full, but still. So for the Olympia, I said, like, look, I can't take him as anybody else. I have to really watch him and push until he gets that crazy fullness. Because I knew that the only chance he's going to ever get is if he really fill up that frame and comes there dwarfing everybody. Yeah. And he was bigger, fuller than anyone, and then they gave him a chance. So then I posted, you've seen Hidetari Magishi, there was Sylvia Samuel and
Sylvia, yeah.
Chris Dimma, I didn't put the picture of him. Chris put the picture next day from that show. Yeah. I pushed everybody to be so full because at that stage, the difference is a little. So you want that wow factor and shocker. Yeah. Everybody saw Dennis Wolf before and great physique. But then when they saw him and they said, wow, at 2007 Olympia, all of a sudden he became contender, right? I mean, look at the...
Milos, how do you get them so full? Because like I've done it where I've started carbing 4 or 5 days out, and I've carbed really early and then pulled it back, when you need to. But I mean, how do you do it? How do you manage it?
Well, you see, this is how it is, yeah. And I am guilty of overspilling some people. Yes, I am guilty of. But you see, if you go for a safe thing, you don't want to compromise anything. You can be there 50, 60, 70%, and you are happy because you might look phenomenal. Might look, for other people, you look phenomenal, but in reality, that's maybe only 50, 60, 70% of your maximally glycogen-loaded self. Yeah. Okay. So then I've seen the guys, when they look like 90%, oh my God, this is a shocker. So I want to bring that on the stage. So a few times I try to bring that on the stage. And for some people, that the full look changes their physique. I mean, I'm going to tell you.
Well, Dennis completely transformed that. He went from being like a sort of a good pro to like literally should have beat Roddy Coleman that year.
Yeah, but you see, this is also very important. Many, and this came from father of bodybuilding himself, Joe Weider. Yeah. 1994, I don't know if I told you that story. I was super ripped, sliced and diced and dry as a bone at Olympia. Like my best condition ever. But I placed 13th. I go to Europe, I load up everything. I beat Porter Coachella in every show. And he was top 5 and I wasn't. That's in every show in Europe. And then I got to photo shoot with Joe Weider. Okay? And as soon as he saw me, Milos, why didn't you look like this at Olympia? You could be top 6.
Did you?
And I'm saying, what the hell is he talking about?
Milos, Milos, sorry to interrupt, but are you doing that with clean food?
Yeah, clean food. Yeah. I don't believe in junk food.
Did it ever work? Have you ever junk loaded, and did it ever work?
I did junk loaded, and sometimes works, sometimes doesn't.
Yeah.
But just to finish my point on this one, I didn't really think that Joe Weider knows what he's talking about. Like, okay, he's old. He's senile and he doesn't see very well. But then I seen the Polaroid of the picture. Oh my God. And then I look, I was maybe not as conditioned as at Olympia. Yeah. But this size made me look so much better. I would give to this guy victory over that guy. So that's how my perception changed. Some guys like, okay, Hiratari Yamagishi, perfect example. When he's fuller, he looks way more aesthetic and more comparable.
He does. He does. Like his everything. Look, his triceps, his quads, everything pops more. And you're right. I agree with you.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
For some people, you can go a little bit on the drier side. It's better. Don't risk it. Some guys maybe have bloated stomach, so you can't really load them up. Definitely. But as you're asking, clean food or junk food? Okay, whoever is saying there is some science behind the junk food, they're full of shit. There's no science. You can get the inflammation from some bullshit that you're gonna eat that you don't even know. But people usually fill up and say, "Oh, I look so great." And what did it do? The fries did it, or ice cream did you have it, or a cheesecake, or what do you think?
Milos, I did it once. I did it in say 5 times when I competed, and it only worked. It worked beautifully. Once, maybe twice, because I made sure I took no fluid in the night before. And it did. And then the other 3 times, 4 times, it went horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. Like 12 weeks of prep went overnight, literally in an hour.
Because you don't really know what you're doing. You're just gambling.
Yeah, you panic.
Most of the guys going to tell you, day after the show, it looks so much better. I ate anything and everything. Yeah, they relaxed, they rehydrated. And it could happen, yes. But if I want, hold on a second. If I want a fully loaded glycogen, what is glycogen? Glycogen is glucose. Do I need a goddamn French fries and fried something and some kind of oil they're going to put on this junk food you're going to be eating? Or I want a clean food. I want my clean protein, my clean carbohydrate, a little bit of good fats. Why would I need super saturated, oily, goddamn.
But sometimes it's more concentrated. Like you said to me once, you had Dennis Wolf on 1,500 grams of carbs over 2 days. That's a lot of clean carbs. I mean, if you put something that was high calorie dense or like nutrient dense, it would it's more concentrated. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah. Okay. Of course. Look, this is what I'm saying to my guys. Okay. Right now, my training partner is also dieting. So when I'm limited with carbs, okay, I want volume. So 100 grams of rice, dry rice is 78 grams of carbs.
Yeah.
100 grams of dry potato is 18 grams of carbs.
Yeah.
Okay, so would I like to have 100 grams of rice that I'm going to cook? It's going to look like nothing, maybe 300 cooked, okay? Or I want to have 500 grams of potato that is going to be like this much food. I would have my potato. So I would have a more volumizing, more satisfying carbohydrate choice. But then if I want to have 200 grams of carbs, okay, and I don't want to blow up my stomach, I'm going to look for something dense. Yeah, so you can have a cream of rice. There is I think I told you last time, there's that mochi thing in Japan. I mean, it's like a dessert. Is the sweet beans and rice, and like a small little thing like this is like 50 grams of carbs. You can have like 4 of those that you don't even feel it. Boom, 200 grams of carbs, you have it clean.
Yeah. Clean. Wow.
Clean, yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
this is how. But look, all the athletes are different.
Yeah.
I wouldn't risk something. Stick with the carbs that you normally eat.
Yeah.
You're not gonna shock the body, and every shock can be either good or bad. Like I said, 2 out of 5 times that you did junk food
probably more like 1 out of 5, really, if I'm really honest with myself.
I tell you this one, okay? If you follow my career, 1999, I didn't even supposed to compete, but then I said, okay, I was in shape, so I decided to enter Canada Pro Cup like on a week notice, and I was actually second to Jablonitsky and Pavel. And then I was going to go to Night of Champions, but everybody was coming. Paul Dillette and Marcus Rule, and there was Jablonitsky, Dexter Jackson. There was like so many guys. She's like, you know what? I never did this shit loading. So I'm going to just like load up, like eat until I can't even breathe anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let me tell you, this is, that's why maybe Phil Heath is going to be looking for the pictures of my bloated stomach. This is the only time in my life.
Philly. Go on, Phil. I'll find the pictures. I'll send them to you, mate. Don't worry.
And I was off. I mean, I was soft and watery, like, of course.
Whoa.
Yeah, so to tell the truth, that's so. This is one of those stupid things.
Milos?
Why risk?
I know. It's one of those things. It's just that the mentality. You're last minute, and you just want to try anything. Derek Clark, our sound technician, he's been following some of your protocols, and he's about 250 at the moment, Derek? 110. He's 110 kilo, 5'7", and he walked in a few weeks ago. And me and Carly had to take like a second take. What have you been doing? He says, Giles, I've been following some of Milos's. After he came on the show last time, I've been following some of his protocols. So he's training twice a day at the moment. It's going really well, isn't it?
It's going pretty well, yeah.
Yeah, so he's been doing your pre, intra, and post-workout, the high creatine, the high, was it everything else? What was it? Glutamine. BCAA. So he's been following all that, and he's like... So I think we want to get him back on stage again, because he actually competed against Dennis James at the Universe in the mid-90s.
Yes, absolutely. Look at that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
first, he had that drive, but I'm just going to tell you this, okay, honestly, and this is for anybody that's looking. Many people overlook the truth of, oh, no, I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. But are you doing everything maximally?
Yeah.
Is maximal nutrition. What does it mean, maximal? Okay, I eat a lot there, but could you do more? So you inspect what you expect for 1 week. Okay, he's growing, which is great. Mm-hmm. But what happened if I add another 20, 30 grams of carbs in this meal and in intra-workout or post-workout? So the hardest thing for me was in the whole career to force feed myself. I was not even hungry. I look at that food, I didn't want to eat it. But I know, shit, I'm going to compete with Ronnie and Nasser and all these guys. I have to eat.
Yeah.
And so if you're lean, push the calories up. You see, Chad Nichols and some other guys, they would give their guys in off-season just eat calories. Again, just like a junk food that you have in pre-contest preload. I don't agree with it. Give calories, but good calories only. Because your health should be number one priority anyway, right?
Yeah.
Totally agree. If I give you junk, how is this going to reflect to your physique and your health and appearance and your feeling? Why junk? Just have a shitload of good food that you can digest, assimilate, right? But then push the envelope, right? And I know that Derek is now growing. Okay, and probably maybe he's already there. But see, are you really maxed out, or you can push the envelope even extra protein shake?
What do you think, Derek?
I think this back in the day.
I'm not maxing out.
He's not maxing out. He says he can do more. He can get to 115 kilos. You just need to fine tune.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's again. This is typical life situation. Now, athlete is telling me I'm not maxing out. So my question is, why? You don't want to maximize results? It's the same as when an intelligent guy comes to me and says, Milos, I know I'm doing it wrong. I turn around and leave. So what do you want me to answer? You know you're doing it wrong, right? So do it right. Okay, that's for the normal situations. But now for the bodybuilders, you want maximal results, you need to push everything. Analyze, be honest yourself. Nutrition, okay, this is lacking. Supplementation, oh, this is lacking. Oh, I don't even take supplements. Are you maximizing? You're not. So once you become true to yourself, then, like I say, every stone is unturned. Okay. Okay. This is how I go with everybody. And on that note, yes, I'm guilty of many times that some of my athletes were not 100% ready for the show, but I was pushing it to the max.
Yeah, you gotta push things.
And sometimes it's really a matter of hours. Like, God damn, it was just perfect. In the room. By the time we come there, something happens. Everybody's going to tell you this. That happened, quite often. So that's why sometimes it's much better that everything you're going to do for the contest, you replicate a couple of weeks early.
Right.
And then say, okay, this is what I can expect. Then you have a little bit more confidence in, okay, if you do it this way, we can expect those kind of results.
Okay, Milos. Well, I think, Derek, have you got any final questions for Milos? Just one?
It's competed over 77 times.
Yep.
How did this stay? What kind of stuff, what was it?
So you've done 77 pro shows. So I'm just passing on the question. You've done 77 pro shows. How did you manage to stay stay in good condition for each one? Or how did you manage to maintain, because I've never really said something about there when you overloaded and the one time you were off and Phil Heath getting the picture. And like you said, I've never seen pictures of you really off, like we've seen some pros when they've completely bombed out, And so how did you manage to do that many shows, but bring good condition? Like if you're doing every show, you'd have to be on prep all year round. How did you do it?
Okay, first I have to correct you. I wish I did 77 shows. I did 72.
Oh, 72 is
pro shows. 72 pro shows. I did 110 total shows.
Okay,
but
that's incredible.
You say now, how can I stay in shape? Well, if you can speak openly, I was on a cycle normally.
Yeah.
Throughout the year, right? But then when my competition season starts, I would know how many weeks I'm going to have to be there on a cycle throughout. So I make sure that I have some time completely off. It was not cruising.
So you didn't blast and cruise, because that was another thing I was thinking. You must have been on gear all year round.
Go off and go on. You clear up your receptors.
Right.
You rest your body. And,
that's good.
You do it.
Yeah.
And then I was, in general, I was doing 18 weeks off, 8 weeks off, 16 weeks off, 6 weeks off, 12 weeks on and off, 18 on, 8 off, 16 on.
Okay.
This kind of. So I would leave to completely recuperate. I would do that very efficient, aggressive PCT.
Okay.
So I can keep myself healthy.
Yeah.
But this is the pharmacological enhancement of the physique.
Yeah.
As far as training, I forced myself always to train harder when I was off.
Okay, that's interesting.
Well, because when you're on, you are strong and, it's normal. So it was always my training partner, when you're off, this is when you push balls to the wall, okay?
Yeah.
And then nutritionally, also now, I don't eat for the contest. I eat 24 hours a day for my health. So I wanted to be bodybuilder year round, and I was available for, find me a guest posing appearance when I was off. Wow. I know, I did a guest posings, pretty much at the condition that, guys on the stage now, because I kept it that way.
Did you go kind of out of condition, or did you go smaller when you were off like that?
No, because I tell you, my whole nutrition was based on constant influx of amino acids through the high protein meals. Yeah. So I had 500 grams of protein a day, in average from 450 to 550. 500 a day for 15 years straight.
Wow. Derek's writing this down now.
I'm serious. I'm telling you.
Because Derek said earlier, you said he was like up to 2 gram of protein for your body weight. So you're 5 to 550 of protein all year round for 15 years.
Yes, I did it. I promise.
Shit. Okay.
Because come on again, this is the only building nutrient. You can have a shitload of carbs and fat. They are energy nutrients. They're not building nutrients.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to have calories, I'm going to make sure that I have my building blocks first.
Okay.
So I have a constantly amino acids in my. So what I was also doing, and that's what my athletes do, in between meals, I would give you like 5-10 grams of EAAs and BCAAs. And glutamine in between meals. EAAs and glutamine.
So you've got a constant influx of amino acids and protein all day round, all day, all year round.
Yeah, but now, I would, as Derek is training twice a day.
Yeah. Now
that means 2 anabolic opportunities. I have a fat burning phase, maintenance phase, and anabolic phase. Anabolic phase is every time you train, which means meal before and after had to be concentrated on anabolism. I'm going to give enough calories, carbohydrates, and protein, right? To make sure that I can build the tissue.
Yeah.
Replace my carbohydrates, use them for the training, and reload the glycogen. So nutrients are there. Maintenance phase there. I just need the calories from one meal to another. It could be protein and fat. I don't care. It can be protein and carbs. I was always a carb guy. I like carbs. I don't like fat. So I was always eating my high protein, high carbs throughout the whole year. If I start craving fats, okay, so I'm going to have a Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to have shitload of fats, but I'm going to cut my carbs. And this is another thing. Okay, this is off the topic, but I'm going to tell this on your show. People are afraid of carbs and say carbs make you fat. And there is de novo lipogenesis, conversion of carbohydrates into the fat, very inefficient in humans. And people just say, oh, carbs make me fat. No. When you have carbs and fat together, okay, easy available. So glucose is being used as energy, and fat is being stored. So this is why you get fat.
So you think protein with carbs or protein with fats, but not fats with carbs?
Yeah. So here it is.
Okay.
If you're going to have a Saturday, Sunday, you want to kill yourself with the carbs.
Yeah.
Okay. 1,000, 1,500 grams of carbs. Have close to zero fat.
Yeah.
Eat as much carbs as you want. I guarantee you're not going to gain an ounce of body fat. I did it so many times with so many people. So cut the fats to nothing and kill yourself with the carbs and see what happens.
Wow. Okay. That's it was nice to hear that actually. Yeah. Cause that's kind of what that's interesting.
I'm telling you, man, I didn't believe it before. And then I tried it. I said, shit, because in clinical nutrition, and I did some classes as well. This guy was right away, it's inefficient in humans. Like, what do you mean? And then he says even like this, that maximally 10% of carbohydrates can be converted. So let's say if you do the 1,000 grams of carbs and 100 grams of carbs can be converted, that would be like 400 calories. That's equivalent to like 40 grams of fat. But this is abusing, like going crazy.
Yeah.
But it's all in energy balance. So if you're going to burn 4,000 calories a day, you can eat 4,000 calories a day. So you can have your 4,000 calories from carbohydrates that day, no problem. But, if your energy balance exceeds that, and now you eat 5,000 has to be stored. Okay, so now this is how excess can be stored. But on that note, only 10% of the carbs could be converted and stored as a fat. I promise you that.
Wow. I'll tell you, on that bombshell, I think we're going to have to leave it there because that's a really good way to end the interview. Milos, I'm definitely want to get, if that's okay, we can get you on before the Olympia because I want to hear see how your predictions are shifting maybe. Because obviously we're going to know a lot more about who's doing the show and who's in and who's out. So Milos, thank you so much again. You've just you give us gold every single time. You really, really do. And that last episode we had you on got, I think, our highest ever views in that season. So you're really appreciate you taking the time and sharing all your knowledge and your just with knowledge. It's huge amounts of knowledge.
You're welcome anytime. Yeah. So you know where to find me when you need me.
Okay, and can you put 40 pounds on Kaleem as well, please? Because we want to get him. We want to get him beefed up a bit as well. So,
listen, that means you can't waste another day, another meal, another hour, right? You have to stimulate through training and feed it. And doesn't matter how old are you, doesn't matter what's going on with you, anybody can put the muscle. Of course, it's just how bad do you want it. But I said this, it's very rude, but if I say this on a interview,
yeah.
I said on the RX muscle, so if you want to fuck, you have to put it in. Otherwise, it's called fucking.
And on that note...
I'm saying that, but
yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
If you want a muscle, you have to put it in. What I mean, you have to train like a maniac and you have to eat. That's it. It's not rocket science.
It's not rocket science. Okay, then, Milos. Well, I'm going to let you go and buy your car for your daughter now. So you're going to be several $1,000s lighter in a few hours.
All right, guys.
And
nice to talk to you guys. And hopefully see you at Olympia, right?
I'll definitely see you at the Olympia, Milos Sarcev.
Right.
Trying to say your name right. Thank you, Milos.
See you. Bye.